Jamie here. Hi. It's been a while since I made a video. Life has been a little bit topsy-turvy. But I wanted to make a quick video about how I used lucid dreaming recently to figure out what was causing my psoriasis. And for those of you that might not know, for the last year, I have been really struggling with illnesses. I mean, I've had strep throat probably 4 or 5 times in the last year and a half. And with every stint of strep throat, my body would just become covered with psoriasis. And this last time, around October or November, it didn't go away. And it was very bad, to the point where I was covered completely from head to toe. And I mean, I could hardly take a shower without crying. I was just getting very bad, and it was scary. It's quite the hell to live in this way and to not know what's wrong with you. I would go to the doctor and say, you know, what's going on, and they would do throat cultures, and they would come back negative. And they're like, this is just the way it is. You have psoriasis. And I'm just like, this is not normal to have this happen just so suddenly. And so I decided, and what they wanted to do was put me on immune suppressant drugs, which I didn't want anything to do with. But I decided I said, okay, well, I'm going to get lucid and ask what's going on. And so I did. I got lucid. And when I find that when I have like the fire under me to get to the bottom of something, I can be quite persistent. So I got lucid and I asked, and I say that because I probably had 4 or 5 unsuccessful attempts before this. For those of you that do the work, I mean, don't let me come across as like it was easy. It's not easy. I was very persistent. And by my 5th attempt, I got lucid. I woke up, I kind of did a wake back to bed. I woke up in the early mornings and kind of slipped back into a sleep state. And I got lucid, and I asked to talk to my guides this time. And a man showed up. He was blonde and tall, as they usually are, at least in my experiences. And he handed me, and I said to him, I said, oh, okay, what can I do to make this go away? And he handed me a small pillow, about this big, and it was white, and it was a little pillow, and he held it, I put it in my hand, and it was kind of shaped funny, and I watched as this little pillow disappeared before my very eyes. And I know from past experiences that if I have the second to just kind of do a quick analysis, to kind of have that extra moment of thinking, what does this symbol mean? In the dream state, I'll be much better off when I come out. There's so many times I come out and it's very hard for me to figure out what the symbol means. But so I did a little 1-second analysis of the pillow. And so when I came out, I did the analysis, and I realized that the pillow was a pun on pill. I would need to take a pill. And this is what my pillow looked like. So I came out, and I'm thinking, okay, I need a pill. And it was very quickly that I realized that this shape that it was kind of like an organic thing. And so I started looking at medicines under the microscope. And I came across, I looked at probiotics, which I had tried before, and all these things didn't seem like much of a match. But then I looked up penicillin. And this is what penicillin looks like under the microscope. And that's when I knew I was onto something. So the thing is that I've been allergic to penicillin my entire life. So I knew that it was going to be hard pressed to try to find a doctor that would agree to give me penicillin that knew my history. So, and indeed it was difficult, but I would go to the doctor, like they did, so I finally, it took me 4 doctors. Finally, I saw a 4th doctor, and I didn't even say anything, actually. I was begging for penicillin before, but he said, you need penicillin, and I was like, yes, and you need a lot of it for a long time. And he gave me 30 days of penicillin. And I watched as the psoriasis disappeared before my very eyes. And so, so I am thrilled. I've always had these kind of dry, red patches on my elbows. That before this whole experience, I've had that happen. And those are gone now too. So my whole life, well, not my whole life, but for the last 15 years of having those red patches on my elbows, It's never been diet, it's never been stress, it's never been anything, but it's been strep. It was an underlying strep infection, and this doctor knew that a throat culture wouldn't show anything, and he would have to do like deep blood work to figure out. They have specific tests that they can do, that they can look for these kind. ASO test is the specific test that he was going to do. Anyways, the real story though is that I used my lucid dream to figure out what was going on, and I just, as usual, that's just a phenomenal thing that we can do, and I really hope that my story helps somebody in that way. I know what it's like to not know what's wrong with you, and to just watch yourself getting sick, and you feel kind of like your life is now over. Everything, like, and I think if you don't experience that, maybe that seems extreme, but when you're so sick and you're getting worse and you're just, I mean, my whole arm and everything was covered. I mean, I was really bad off, and so I'm so grateful to have this in my back pocket to know how to get lucid. And then the little thing too is that to be able to analyze the symbol, and the only reason why I was able to analyze the symbol is because of Michael Sheridan. So if you don't know Michael Sheridan, definitely check him out too. So I'll put a link to his work as well. So yeah, so that's that story. A pretty simple one, but with incredible results. And thanks for listening. Hope you're well. Talk to you later.